Every major AI model today reads your data in plain text. Whether you are typing a prompt or uploading a proprietary training set, the cloud providers running the infrastructure have a transparent window into exactly what you are doing. Nillion steps into this gap with a concept it calls blind computation. The idea is to process your data without anyone, including the network nodes doing the actual math, ever seeing the information inside. To build this, the project raised a massive $65 million war chest. They assembled a highly credentialed founding team with roots at Goldman Sachs, Uber, and Hedera Hashgraph to pull it off. On paper, this specific combination of deep capital, elite pedigree, and privacy-preserving technology offers exactly what the enterprise AI industry requires right now. Yet, despite that setup, Nillion sits at the bottom of our rating framework in Quadrant D, scoring poorly on both freedom and returns. The token's performance reflects those scores. Today, the fully diluted valuation trades completely below its venture funding rounds. The asset is down 88% from its initial coin offering and 94% from its all-time high. This collapse is driven by internal red flags. The project is currently navigating a highly disruptive mid-flight blockchain migration, while simultaneously dealing with the fallout of a massive governance scandal. To evaluate this project accurately, we have to separate the genuine cryptographic breakthroughs happening at the compute layer from the operational chaos happening at the management level. Because a world-class technological thesis ultimately fails if the team behind it cannot execute basic economic mechanics. Nillion attempts to secure data through defense in depth, stacking three distinct privacy-enhancing technologies: multi-party computation, homomorphic encryption, and trusted execution environments. Multi-party computation ensures data is fragmented across the network. No participant holds the complete dataset, meaning a compromised node sees useless noise. Homomorphic encryption then allows those nodes to perform complex mathematical operations directly on those encrypted fragments, generating a fully locked output that only you can decrypt. Finally, trusted execution environments place that entire process inside hardware-isolated enclaves. The protection is so rigid that even the physical hardware operator cannot inspect the code running inside. But combining all three layers creates extreme computational overhead. Historically, blind computation is incredibly slow and highly expensive to execute compared to standard processing. While this architecture provides bulletproof theoretical guarantees for data sovereignty, it remains completely unproven for supporting fast, cost-effective AI workloads at scale. The strength of that underlying technology contrasts sharply with the project's token management. In November 2025, a massive internal incident occurred. This stemmed from a failure of governance rather than a technical smart contract exploit. The team allocated 2.5% of the total token supply to an external market maker. They did so without implementing the necessary smart contract controls to restrict how those tokens could be used. The unauthorized market maker took advantage of that oversight and dumped 65 million tokens directly onto the open market. To address the 50% price crash, the team launched a buyback program, recovering just 1.1 million tokens, less than 2% of the damage. This lack of control is highly alarming, specifically because 41% of the token supply is allocated to insiders, with massive unlocks scheduled steadily through 2026. The incident severely damaged retail trust. It showed that an elite team of founders failed to implement basic counterparty oversight over their own treasury. That treasury oversight issue is now compounding with a massive architectural shift. The original Cosmos-based blockchain, nilChain, is permanently halting in March 2026. The entire network is abandoning the Cosmos ecosystem and migrating to Ethereum as a standard ERC20 token via a mandatory one-to-one bridging process. This creates an immediate negative trade-off for users. Cosmos staking utility is dead. The token currently offers zero yield and sits in a temporary, centralized limbo. To manage the transition, the team announced a rebrand called Nillion 2.0, marketing new tokenomics, permissionless nodes, and potential burn mechanisms. But as of March 2026, Nillion 2.0 has zero shipped deliverables. The updated economics are entirely theoretical. Current investors are trapped in a transition period. They have been stripped of their staking utility and forced to wait on promises that have yet to materialize in code. We also have to look at the project's commercial traction. The network has been operating in alpha mainnet since March 2025. While early applications do exist on the platform, the team has published 0 usage metrics, and there is 0 demonstrated protocol revenue. The reality is that the entire market for blind AI compute is incredibly nascent. There are no proven paying enterprise customers utilizing this specific architecture at scale yet. Therefore, Nillion's current token valuation does not rely on actual yield or network fee distribution. It relies purely on speculative future demand for a market that has yet to be proven. Nillion pairs a highly rigorous data sovereignty thesis with terrible execution in tokenomics and commercial validation. Based on that reality, here is how you should proceed. If you are a current token holder, immediate operational action is required. If you hold tokens on the Cosmos nilChain, you absolutely must use the official migration portal before the strict deadline of March 23, 2026. If you miss this window, you risk losing your assets entirely. If you are a prospective buyer, exercise extreme caution. Do not blindly buy the dip. The combination of heavy insider unlocks, a dead staking mechanism, and an unproven transition to Ethereum makes the asset highly risky right now. Stay on the sidelines until the promises of Nillion 2.0 ship as actual working deliverables. However, if you are a Web3 developer, you have the green light to build and experiment. The compute and storage modules operate completely independently of the messy token migration. The underlying privacy technology remains highly functional and ready for testing. Cryptographic breakthroughs only matter if the network hosting them remains stable and solvent. Right now, Nillion's operational failures pose a larger threat to its survival than the complexity of its code.